We got a 13-inch 2020 MacBook Air today, which had a liquid damage, but liquid went on the screen, and from time to time screen goes black, white, basically glitches. Good news is that Mac is still turning on, what you can see now. Comes and goes. The screen went off again, so there's some issue with the screen, which is playing up. So it went off again. Should stay longer. So it seems like liquid went through the bezel here, splashed on the keyboard, went through the bezel and leaked inside. Luckily there is no liquid on the main electronic board, so we'll take the board out just to inspect underneath, and then from there most likely we'll need to replace the screen. Strangely, we also not having a trackpad response and keyboard response. So I do wonder if there is some issue with the trackpad blocking the keyboard. So let's check that one too. Let's start from the trackpad area first, because it's a bit strange that we're not getting a trackpad and mouse. Sorry, trackpad and keyboard. Could be some oxidation underneath. So we'll check one by one every part of this machine, and that will hopefully resurface what is causing that problem. Okay, let's take it out. Oh. Okay, so there's a quite extensive damage on the trackpad. So we recently had this problem, similar liquid damage, and this little engraved areas down there, CNC milled areas down there, great place for the liquid to gather, and then these components they just sunk inside of those liquid puddles basically. On the microscope it's pretty clear how extensive the damage is. So this is the connector where the cable from the logic board comes into, and one of the chips over here is also responsible for communicating with the logic board, and it's the same trace basically responsible for the clock and signal lines on the logic board, which is tracking the trackpad and keyboard communication. And usually if trackpad is not happy, it might block those signals and keyboard might not respond either. So hence the reason when we saw that the keyboard is not responding at all, we straight away dived into the trackpad. Yeah, so I see the damage on the trackpad cable, so it's completely eaten away. That's mainly caused from the fact that device has been used for a while after there was a liquid damage, particularly the trackpad, and not just left in a sleep mode. So those repetitive attempts to turn on the device with or after liquid damage is the reason why most of the components fails. Quite often, unfortunately, people think that they can just let it dry, and like a water patch on a paper, it will just go away. But paper can absorb liquid, while these plastics and PCBs, they cannot absorb. It's completely melted from that consistent short circuit. And looking how these tracks are going, unfortunately we don't have schematics for this, so we need to just trace it out. And if we look how tracks are going, probably this is one of the sides, which is ground, and this is the other side, which is plus. So most likely we're dealing with a plus minus situation here. But yeah, it's quite badly corroded. Is it quite badly corroded here? We took out the melted connector, and we're gonna solder a new one on its place, which looks like this. So if you compare them, you can see how the one underneath has melted. Okay, so we will solder it straight on the previous one's place. That's how it looks like under the microscope. Okay, so we're done with the soldering of the connector. So we'll test the pads, the tracks, just to make sure it's making a good contact. On a close inspection, all the pins looks good. So let's put the clip for the ribbon cable back. Okay, with a fixed connector, let's put the new cable in. You can see this cable has all the pins, golden pins being okay. So before we put the trackpad back, we want to clean this area. You can see how the coffee stains are still here, so we don't want to leave them because they might start the oxidation process all over again. And the moment of truth. Okay, let's connect the battery and test the rest. Let's see. Okay, loaded, but still no keyboard or trackpad. Alright, so unfortunately this trackpad repair wasn't successful, so what we'll do is we'll try to replace it with a new one. So this is the replacement trackpad, so hopefully it's not a situation where it is blown communication lines for the trackpad due to that big corrosion and melted connector which we saw there. These trackpads, they're not just dumb devices which gets voltage. They also have quite sensitive communication line tracks, data and clock lines, because it runs on a SPI bus system through here. And if any of the higher voltage lines gets into the SPI bus line, they can easily blow the trackpad responsible part of the CPU or the T2 chip. In this case, they don't have T2 anymore, so it's straight, everything is inside of the Apple silicon. Okay, so now with the replacement trackpad, oh, there you go, straight away I can feel the haptic feedback. Question is, are we gonna get mouse? So mouse is here, moving, beautiful. So we have mouse. What about keyboard? Beautiful, we have keyboard as well. So let's try to get in one of the user accounts. So we'll use the guest user. Let's flip it upside down. Right, let's see if the keys are typing. Continue, cancel. Awesome. Yep. Great. Keys are functioning, which is awesome. Right, so basically only trackpad was damaged. So we had to replace this trackpad here. The melted connector, we replaced it. You can see the good connector is there, but it seems like from that short circuit must have blown something on the trackpad and flooding those communication lines. Hence the reason why the keyboard wasn't working. Yeah, sometimes we need to replace it, sometimes we can repair it. This wasn't the case where we could have repaired it, unfortunately. About the screen seems to be okay. We saw quite often liquid damage around here, so we will clean the residue. But yeah, luckily no patches on the screen. And because screen works on a higher current, if there was any oxidation or damage which leaked inside, would have showed itself immediately, either with patches or with a black screen. We don't get that screen going on and off anymore, so it seems like that also was caused because of the trackpad blocking some of the communication signals or disrupting them to a point where the CPU was confusing itself and playing up with the screen. That's it. So we are good with this repair, ready to call the customer to inform them that laptop, basically MacBook, is ready to be collected. Before that, we will assemble it, run some more tests just to make sure that it's solid and stable, so we can give them 3 months warranty. And that's it. So the The takeaway from this repair is if you spill any liquid on it, first don't tip it this way because all the liquid goes towards the screen and high chances that it will damage the screen. This is what we thought that happened with this MacBook. But second most important thing perhaps is that any kind of liquid spilled on it, do not wait for it to dry because every minute counts. You saw how the trackpad is literally sitting this way on all these electronics can get submerged inside of the liquid, and this is metal, so these ones are PCB components. They cannot absorb liquid like tissue will, so letting it dry makes no sense and actually does more damage than helps. Thank you guys for watching. If you need the service, all the information is in the description. And if you like this content, just like, subscribe, and if you have questions, drop them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.